This is the Gashouse Gang on 104.1 FM KMOX. Sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin comfort dealer. And by Anderson Hospital, a Newsweek World's Best Hospital. Now, the Gashouse Gang on KMOX.
That's right. With you until 1 o'clock today, every weekday from 12 until 1. It is the Gashouse Gang. And on the Friday edition, we always visit with Mike Claiborne and Matt Pauley. We've got John Rooney, one of the voices of the Cardinals, who will be with us at 12:30 today. So we'll talk it over with him. But right now, we've got my guys Claibs and Pauley on the show, getting ready for a series tonight against the Yankees at home. It is a 7:15 first pitch. We got the coverage on KMOX starting at 6:20.
You weren't here last week, and
no,
things went glowingly well.
So let's
see if we can keep this trend going. Okay, I'm just trying not to bring it down.
The
phone calls, and the letters and flowers we receive. Yes, we normally. Matt, how about you? I mean, last week the people who stop you at the grocery store, the dry cleaners, and everywhere else, like, man, what a wonderful show that was. But it was something that seemed like it was missing.
As good as it gets, huh?
Well, we just won that Murrow Award that actually was connected to last week's show. That's you have to read real deep into the press release to see that. But
the fine print, So all I'm saying is, I guess it's good to have you back.
Look, here's what I'll do: the best I can to not screw this up. So that's all I can promise. Yeah, I mean,
okay.
Claibs, I can't.
Hey, Chris, less is better.
I'm trying, man.
Right.
I'm really, really trying.
All right.
So this series against the Yankees, and I know we've talked a lot about, and you hear from players, and you hear from, John Rooney has said this a lot, that he doesn't really care for the schedule the way it is now.
I agree with him.
Because you used to play your division opponents way more. Those games meant quite a bit more. Now we see every single team every single season. The Yankees will go there in 2026. They play here this year. I see that, and I agree with it to an extent, but there is something about getting the Yankees into town every couple of seasons, because it is a spectacle. I mean, even if they're struggling right now, relatively speaking, it is still the New York Yankees coming to Busch.
True. And but the thing is, there's a handful of teams that have that sort of, aura about them. I mean, I don't recall anybody saying, hey, the Minnesota Twins are rolling in town. Let's run down there and see.
It ain't the 80s anymore.
Yeah. So I get it. I'm of the belief that when we go after the next 26 collective bargaining agreement to come up, and we'll probably have some expansion teams involved, I think it's a perfect time to realign and refocus on how the schedule should look, where you have more regional rivals, for one. And like you said, there's certain teams that you want to have on your schedule. It's the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Cardinals, the Cubs, the ones that have already had a legitimate footprint on the game. Now, how you do that, I don't know how, they don't pay me enough to figure that out, but I think it's possible to have that sort of thing. Like next year, we'll be playing the Cubs on the 4th of July. And now the league wants to go to having those sort of rivalries during that holiday weekend or whenever the 4th falls. That's cool. I mean, they come here, we go there. That's fine. We obviously we should be playing Kansas City more. We should be finding those rivalries where fans can come see it without, spending a small fortune. In case in point, St. Louis University, I'm kind of going off the track here. St. Louis University is in the Atlantic 10 Conference in basketball. I don't know anyone who says, hey, the Billikens are playing St. Bonaventure this weekend. Let's get in the car and drive. It doesn't happen. So, and I thought it was one of the worst decisions they ever made is joining that conference. And I have nothing against the conference or the schools, but there's no mixture. There's no rivalry. There's no way where people can go back and forth. Call me a homer. Call me anything you want. I don't care. But point being, that has more of an impact if you're playing schools that you're at least familiar with. And I'll give you a good example. Most people who say they're basketball fans couldn't tell you all the teams in Atlantic 10.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah. So you want to be in a conference where, so I bring that back to baseball. And while I know the Anaheim Angels or the Los Angeles Angels are in Major League Baseball, and I know the Minnesota Twins are in Major League Baseball, I don't care. I mean, and because they're fledgling teams, they don't have the star power, and then they can say, well, look at St. Louis, who's a star on your team, but that hasn't always been the case. So yeah, I would like to see them realign, and certainly the schedule. We got to fix that because they make you play these games come hell or high water.
Paulie, let me get your thoughts on it first because I have another question about it.
So I've got two thoughts. I have a right now thought and a in the future thought. The right now thought is you don't need the easy answer is just reduce in half what you're doing in terms of playing all the other teams. You don't need the Yankees to come into town every other year. They can come in every fourth year. If they come in every fourth year, you're not missing that much. So instead of playing all these other teams every year, you play them every fourth year. Then you take your games against the other National League opponents in the East and the West, which generally you play those 7 games. You play them 6 games. So then that leaves a bunch of games open that you can add back to your division. So I think that could be a right now fix for this. That wouldn't be that challenging to do. Long term, what I'm really, because I've seen them talk about the pod system because they're probably going to add 2 more teams eventually at some point in time. They still got to get some stadium stuff figured out with some of the existing teams before they can start adding new teams. What's going to be really interesting is I saw one setup where the pod the Cardinals would be in would be with the Royals, the White Sox, and the Cubs. Well, if you do that, then the Cubs are not playing the Brewers, which are just up the road, and the White Sox are not playing the Brewers. Well, if you bring the Brewers into that and take the Royals out, well, then the Cardinals aren't in there with the Royals, and also you would like the Brewers to be with the Twins. So it's going to be maybe you go to 6-team pods, and I got to do the math on what that's going to look like, but I'm getting into the weeds. What Claves is saying is right. You need to play the teams that are geographically closer to you more often. Cardinals fans,
and you need to play teams in September too.
Yeah, you should play division rivals a lot at the beginning of the season and a lot at the end of the season.
I'd agree with that.
In the middle of the year, as you're in the dog days of summer and you got everything going on, that's when you start to sprinkle in some of the interleague matchups and stuff like that. But it should be front-loaded and back-loaded with division opponents.
Would you, either of you, ever be in favor of complete realignment, of trying to figure out? I mean, the regions, I think, are pretty good as they are now. But if they were able to get more Royals games per year, have that like 18 or 19 Royals games and then Cardinals games and then, or Cubs games, right? Would you be in favor of something like that if they could figure it out?
I don't want to make it seem like we play a team too much to the point where it loses its luster. But for those regional games that you speak of, I'd like to obviously have them play more than who they're going to play with respect to the rest of the schedule. I think it's a very interesting conversation because we want to make the game better. And if there's a sport that needs to be better, it's baseball right now. And they're trying to do some things, whether it's the pitch clock and some of the other things that they tried to implement, which, by the way, I think the pitch clock is the greatest rule in the history of sports.
It's been awesome.
I mean, you pick a sport and I say, well, but they had a pitch clock. You don't have a pitch clock. And I just think it's had such an impact. And you're seeing other sports trying to find ways to speed up the game because I think it makes it more entertaining. I mean, we had 3 games this week that were all in 2.5 hours.
Yeah, that game, it was 3 nights ago, I think it was, when they with the rain delay and they started at 7:25 or whatever it was. At like 9:15, it was almost over.
Exactly.
And
I didn't hear anybody's complaining. Oh, we should have been here a little longer. I didn't get my money's worth. No, it was a good game. It had a good pace to it. Guys were throwing strikes, and that's something we've seen this week. We haven't seen a lot of guys getting walked, and when we did see a guy get walked yesterday, or the day before, it ended up costing you the ball game. But guys are, it seems like the attention is there where people are paying attention and they're more focused, and you're getting a better game.
Our culture has changed. People don't want to go somewhere for 4 or 5 hours. People want to get in, enjoy themselves, and get out. And this is a sports show. If we really want to take a step back, we can try to investigate what has led to that. But it definitely is a culture shift where, to Claves' point, nobody's going to complain about a 2-hour baseball game. They're just not. And not to compare Major League Baseball to like the Savannah Bananas, but when you look at what they wanted to do, they made sure that all of their games come in at 2 hours. What they did is they researched what people want, and what people want is they want to show up and they want to be at a game for 2 hours and then they want to go home. So that's what the research says.
Yeah. I mean, I know the games we had this week, people, when the game was over with, oh man, we have time to do something else. Hey, let's go have a burger or go have a drink or whatever, just something, compared to just like staying there and being exhausted when the game was over.
The only argument I have heard against this is I've heard people say, well, if I buy tickets, I want to be there as long as I want to be there. I don't want it to be over quickly.
I tell you what.
And I don't know how I feel
Who
about
says that?
Let me
You
tell
really
you,
hear
if they
people
want to
say
be
that?
there, if they want to be there
before the pitch,
give them a broom and they can help clean up the ballpark when the game's over.
It was more of an
argument.
It was more of an argument before the pitch clock. People who didn't want it, because they didn't want the games to be shorter. But we found, watching on television, people, even though the games are shorter, people are watching for longer because they know that when they turn a baseball game on, they're not settling in for 5 hours. They know it's going to be 2.5.
I'm all for it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think they really nailed it with this pitch clock. So I'm very happy with that.
Greatest invention in the history of sports.
And when you cover the team, man, so I was doing it for a decade. Man, would have loved to have that 2.5 hour time limit.
And you in the American League too. And
oh yeah.
American League games take forever.
My
people
God.
can grow a beard. It takes so long to
Those Yankees Red Sox games were like
goodness.
4.5 hours for a while.
Even now when they're Sunday night, because the breaks are longer on the national games, you can feel it. You can really feel it when it's a Sunday night game or one of the Apple Friday night games. You can feel that the pace of the game is longer.
It's funny. I've had somebody say to me back before the pitch clock, they were like, what's 15 minutes? Big deal. They shave 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah?
15 minutes off the game. It feels like a much faster game. The pace feels really good. Mike Claiborne, Matt Pauley, Chris Ranji on the Gashouse Gang, and we want you to join us today, 314-436-7900. We will take your phone calls. We'll take your text messages. If you want to leave us a voice message on the Odyssey app, you can do that as well. John Rooney joins us at 12:30 on the Gashouse Gang on KMOX.
The reason many of us hate insurance companies is because some of them act like bullies. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. I've been dealing with these creatures my whole career. Whether it's a workers' comp claim, an auto accident, or a nursing home or medical mishap, the playbook is often the same: deny and delay. We became the largest injury firm in America for a reason. We fight the bullies. They know who we are, and I know it makes a difference for our clients. Just go to forthepeople.com and see our results and our verdicts after those bullies gave us their final offer. Hiring the wrong firm can be disastrous. Hiring the right firm could substantially increase your settlement. It's easy to get going. Visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer, or call us on your cell at #law, #529. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley for i3 Broadband, the internet provider in the Pauley household. I think you'd love it if you had them as well. We've got the 2 gig package at our home, 2 gig upload, 2 gig download mirrored, and we're spending less money than we did with the cable company for lesser service. Plus, right now, they've got savings over $400 beyond their already low standard pricing. You got questions? They've got answers. Call 877-976-0711, and they've got people there who can answer all your questions, or head to their website, i3broadband.com.
The Chris and Amy Show, weekdays starting at 9 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Gashouse Gang is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, SaligaHeatingandCooling.com, and by Anderson Hospital. Mike Claiborne, Matt Pauley, Chris Ranji. Tonight's series starts against the Yankees. First pitch at 7:15. We have the pregame at 6:20. Matt will have Redbird Rush Hour beginning at 5 o'clock. John Rooney joins us at 12:30. So here we are, fellas. 3.5 games back of a wild card spot. I know we all know what they did at the deadline. We know the direction they've taken. And we've been talking a little bit about, hey, you never know, right?
Yeah.
Even if they trade some guys away, I'm still pretty concerned about pitching, and mainly from the rotation. And I guess a little bit now with the bullpen because of the guys you've let go, and we saw the closer position come up big a couple of nights ago. So knowing all of that, I mean, what are you thinking in terms of them making a run, even if that run is improbable?
What I'm looking at is how people respond. You putting people in positions they haven't been in before. And this is an audition on what you look like, not only for next season, but maybe your career. And, while people would say, well, we don't have a chance, we gave away all our good players. Yeah, well, you move some players to hopefully improve your team down the road. But that doesn't mean you stop playing. And from what I've seen from a lot of players, they're making a name for themselves with regard to saying, hey, I want to be part of a winning situation. And that's a good thing compared to some people who just raise the white flag and surrender and say, well, we'll get them next year. I don't know if I'll be here or not. Yeah, you're probably right. You probably won't be here. But I like where I see in the team and how they approach and how they do their business. It starts with the manager. I think he conveys the right attitude and approach to remind people, hey, we are here to do a job. And we're going to do it until they tell us we can't do it anymore. And I think most players have bought into that.
I got frustrated with the narrative that was out there that JoJo Romero blowing a save against the Rockies showed that the Cardinals made a bad decision at the deadline. The bullpen had been fantastic since the deadline up until that moment. And guess what? That happens. Closers go out, relief pitchers go out. It is a volatile position, and sometimes they just don't have it. There is no connection between JoJo having a bad day against Colorado and anything beyond that. And but not that this really matters, but if people aren't paying attention, the guys that they moved on from are really struggling in their new teams.
Exactly. Yep.
Maton has a +7 ERA with the Rangers, and Helsley in 6 games with the Mets, a 5.40 ERA, and he has given up runs in 4 of the 6 games. Not that means that they would be doing that with St. Louis if they would have stuck around, but the point I'm trying to make is we can't sit here and say, well, if they wouldn't have made those trades, they would have taken 2 of 3 from the Rockies. The bullpen has been fantastic since the deadline. The Swansons, the O'Briens, the Romeros, all these guys have stepped into larger roles, and I'm upset they lost 2 of 3 to the Rockies. That's something that they can't do. I'm upset that they lost the season series against the Rockies, but I'm not going to zoom in so much that I'm really upset at the bullpen because JoJo Romero happened to blow a save.
You know, if you're going to be upset, there's a lot of things to be upset about. And you touched on, you know, you wish your starting pitching was better and more consistent. I mean, you know, right now you have Sonny, you have McGreevy, who you feel good about when they go out on the mound. Miles Michaelis gives you a top flight effort. He's had tough luck as far as getting run support. And, you know, you're trying to figure out who Liberatore and Palante are at this stage of the season. You know, to go back to Colorado for a second, I don't know. Well, obviously they don't play well against a lot of other teams with 89 losses, but I saw some players on that team that I wouldn't mind having this guy. I wouldn't mind kicking the tire. That bullpen, before they played the Cardinals in the month of August, their ERA was 9.
Mm-hmm.
They rolled into St. Louis and they got it fixed quick. Okay. I mean, what did they give up? 1 run the whole time they were here? And I'm looking at a couple of relievers they had, and I'm like, we need one of those guys. I mean, they had some swing and miss guys. The 3 starters they ran out there were pretty good. Well, they were good against us. I mean, you know, if they faced us more, you have talked about Cy Young candidates here, the way they would deal them. But point being, you know, some teams have your number. I remember back in the day when the Pirates used to have the Cardinals number, or the Montreal Expos would have the Cardinals number, and the Cardinals would have certain teams' numbers, like the Dodgers. They have paperwork on the Dodgers right now. I mean, they played Philadelphia tough early in the year. So, you know, it's a cycle that we all go through where there's going to be one team that's going to have your number, and you could bring Brock and Gibson and whomever back, and you still would have a problem with them.
I do think it's right, though, to be the Cardinals were within 3 games of a playoff spot, and now it's only 3.5. So all that, they lose 2 of 3 to the Rockies, and you lost a half game. So you really didn't lose that much ground. But I think fans who are frustrated by the team kind of flirting with a playoff spot, then losing 2 of 3 to the Rockies, I think that is a very valid reaction and a valid emotion, because you're seeing them beat the Dodgers. You're seeing them beat the Cubs. Yep. And then the Rockies roll in, and you just want to see them at the very least win that series, and they're unable to do that. I think a lot of people, Oliver Marmol was frustrated. If you would have listened to him in his post-game press conference, he was just as frustrated as anybody. So it was a frustrating 3 games, but they've got a chance to have a winning homestand. If they can take 2 of 3 against the Yankees, which based off the way things are going this year, that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to go beat the good teams. If they can go have a good weekend against the Yankees, they'll have a winning homestand.
If the Yankees are a good team.
That is true.
They're fighting it right now.
Yeah.
They're kicking it around for sure.
My thing was, when this series started, or this week homestand started, I felt the Cardinals needed to go 7-2 in order to have a legitimate run at a wild card spot to make themselves relevant with that chase. And that's still possible. They just have to go sweep the Yankees now, because I thought, okay, you take 2 out of 3 against the Cubs. You sweep Colorado. You get 2 out of 3 against the Yankees. Well, it didn't work out that way. Well, we took 2 out of 3. Then we lost 2 out of 3. So now we got to go sweep the Yankees to be 7-2, because I think you have to – we're at that stage of the season where you have to pick up a game or a game and a half a week in the standings in order to remain, you know, competitive as far as the postseason is concerned.
Yeah, and because like you said, you're running out of time here, and, you know, you're counting on a lot of other teams losing. You're counting on the Reds losing. You're counting on the Mets, and those are teams you're going to be watching for the remainder of the season. Let's see, how many games do they have left against Cincinnati? They've got the series 6 at the end of this month, and then 1 next month too.
Yeah, so they have 6 games.
Yeah. So
and you know, Cincinnati, and Matt and I remember we talked about it in spring training. I always felt Cincinnati was going to have a seat at the table when it came to postseason. Yeah. I thought it was going to be Cardinals, Cubs, Cincinnati, Milwaukee, and Pittsburgh would fight it out, because I never saw this Milwaukee thing coming. I rarely raised my hand.
Same.
Never saw it coming.
Said they were dead 2 months ago.
Yeah. And they are giving everybody a good going over right now. And they're one of those teams where you say, all right, other than Yelich, name me 4 guys on that team. And most people can't. And, you know, and I think they kind of like that run of being the no-name baseball team. And they have a manager who thinks this is homecoming weekend every day he plays. And, you know, I mean, he's doing things, you know, he kind of reminds you of Joe Madden in one sense, where he's got all these nice, cute cliches that he likes to use. And He has fun with his players. And you know what? That runs for a while. And then after a while, you say, okay, man, enough with the jokes. We're not at the circus. This isn't the Royal Americans where we're trying to play baseball. But right now they're on a run, and you have to tip your cap to the success they've had.
Well, we were talking earlier about wanting to backload the schedule with division games, and that's happening this year. Final 2 weeks of the season, Brewers for 3, Reds for 3, Brewers for 3, and they got the Giants series,
Right.
and they finish with the Cubs.
Yeah.
So
I
can
live with that.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I mean, that's a great schedule.
I just wish you could find another crappy team we can put on that schedule late in the year.
Maybe,
but you know what? Though,
you got
every
the
time you
A's.
ask for that those are the teams that really stick it to you. So you might as well just play it straight up.
Colorado.
Let the Brewers just win everything until then, so they've already have everything wrapped up, and those games against Milwaukee don't mean anything.
They also have 6 games against the Giants in September, which is strange to me.
And they're fighting.
So they haven't played. Yeah, they haven't played the Giants yet this year.
Right.
That's another thing. The games against your non-division National League teams. One of the series happens pre-All-Star break or first half of the season. One of the series happens after. Just do that. It's not that hard.
Matt Pauley, you've got Redbird Rush Hour at 5:00, and then you'll have the pregame show at 6:20.
That's the plan.
We'll be listening in, buddy. Thank you.
Sounds good. You bet.
Thanks, Matt.
Mike Claiborne, Chris Ranji with you for the remainder of this show. And when we come back.
By the way,
yeah.
I don't have a chance to listen to the Redbird. What do you call it? Rush Hour?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm at the ballpark. But I do listen to Matt's show after the game.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of the best post-game shows KMOX has ever had. And I was part of that at one point in my career. And I think he does a phenomenal job.
He's measured.
Yeah.
I totally appreciate. You have to be for a post-game show, or you will lose your mind.
Back in the day when I was doing it, this is when people were drinking and calling. Okay? So and you didn't have, this is no text messaging. You would have like guys who'd been on the hooch a little too much, and they had all these bizarre comments and thoughts, and you had to make sure you were tempered where you didn't want to like unload on a guy.
Is this also when they were serving Budweiser in the press box?
I was there for that.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh my goodness.
Heard there were a couple of scraps.
Yeah, well, there were a couple people didn't get along because some guy maybe thought he jumped the line. Yeah, well, let me tell you, those days, I'm amazed that some of those people still walk the earth. Well, most of them aren't around anymore, but I was young then, and I was just like, let me get this straight. You want me to come cover a game that I already enjoy covering, and then you're going to give me free cheeseburgers and beer to go along with it? And there were guys literally bringing their own mugs. The cup did not hold enough for them. Oh my goodness!
And you could tap it yourself too.
Yes,
right?
yes. You get the guys with the long pour. Know how to knock the foam out. I learned a lot about beer.
Can you believe it? I can't believe that was ever a thing.
It was, and like the food was really, really good.
Yeah.
Not like this. Some places we go, when the other teams broadcast it, you don't want to eat that.
Oh yeah.
You don't
know what sucks, Claves? Dodger dogs.
I know some people who
swear
think
by
it's to catch me out. I personally consumed a few of them earlier in my career that I don't have to have another.
Yeah, they don't do anything for me. Mike Claiborne, Chris Ranji.
Who do you think had the best food in baseball when you were working together?
Well, I didn't go to all the stadiums.
Okay.
So Sox Park did have pretty good food. They always had good food. I think Busch has really good food. Are you talking about press box?
Yeah, press box.
Oh, press box food? I don't think I've had Busch press box food. Is it not good? You don't have anything to say.
No, I thought we were going to a commercial break. I don't want to. I don't want to take away from John Rooney's time.
We're late for break. John Rooney comes up next on the Gashouse Gang.
The Dave Glover Show.
If you sit down with me and we talk about who I am, what I am, my values, political, voting record, you're never going to walk away and go, that guy's a bleeding heart progressive. I'm just not stupid. And I just don't take bait. And I just don't do things because you tell me to, or that I'm afraid that if I don't, fall in line or get on the bandwagon, people aren't going to like me. Been there, done that for years.
The Dave Glover Show, now on FM 104.1 FM KMOX.
Hey, St. Louis, this is Ben Barnett, board-certified master arborist and owner at Timberline Professional Tree Care. As a local small business owner for the past 24 years, I always do my best to shop local and support our community. Recently, 2 of the largest tree contractors in the region have sold to out-of-town investment groups. This means that the new owners of these companies are not invested in quality, customer satisfaction, or safety, except for how it affects their bottom line. Timberline Professional Tree Care was founded in 2001 and is focused solely on giving you, the customer, the safest, highest quality product while providing the best customer service before, during, and after the job. I've poured my heart and soul into tree care for the past 24 years, and we aren't going anywhere. When it comes time to take care of your trees, I ask that you shop local and call me, Ben Barnett, at Timberline Professional Tree Care, 636-479-7475, or online at stltreecare.com.
Named one of Newsweek's world's best hospitals for 2025, Anderson Hospital is your hospital for life, delivering exceptional, compassionate care to families across the Metro East. From emergency services to specialized treatments, our dedicated team supports your health at every stage. Experience world-class care close to home. Discover the difference at andersonhospital.org.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friend Mark Cantor at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, so I take this very seriously. Mark is a great attorney. He has a great team. He is from St. Louis. He is local. Call 314-628-9999 or visit cantorinjurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Calling all future sportscasters. Sharpen your skills and learn from the best of the Missouri Broadcasters Association Sportscasters Forum, Tuesday, September 16th in St. Louis. Join Cardinals beat reporters, broadcasters, and the legendary John Rooney, the voice of the Cardinals, for insider sessions on play-by-play, interviewing, reporting, and more. Then cap the day with a Cards-Reds game at Busch Stadium. Open to college students and broadcasting pros. Just $10 for students, lunch, and a game ticket. Space is limited. Register by September 2nd at MissouriBroadcasters.org.
We all have different ideas of the perfect retirement, but they all depend on the same thing, not running out of money. And preparing for retirement can sometimes be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Find out how to build your retirement on your terms. Join host Steve All for the All Financial Hour, Saturday mornings at 10 or Sunday evenings at 6, right here on KMOX. You can also visit yourmoneymattersstl.com for more details.
Today, the Cards, the Yankees.
Ameren Total Access 620.
Cardinals Radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Now, the John Rooney Conversation on KMOX. Sponsored by Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. And if you're a Missourian, we're for you.
Burleson sting one here. Burleson swings and hits it a mile. It's out of here. Home run, Burleson. A 2-run shot. 5-2 Cardinals.
Strong call. John Rooney, we will have baseball tonight at 7:15. That's first pitch. And if you want to tune into the pregame show, you might as well. Actually, Cardinals talk starting at 5 with Matt Pauley and Kevin Wheeler for the rush hour, then the pregame at 6:20. And then this man will have first pitch tonight from Busch Stadium. Cardinals Yankees. John Rooney joins the Gashouse Gang on KMOX. What's up, John?
Well, new day, new series, and it's a series against a team with a winning record. And that's been a problem for the Cardinals, playing those sub-500 clubs and trying to win a game, win a series, and losing 4 out of 6 to Colorado was not good.
Yeah, and we were talking earlier about the Yankees coming to town, and I know the schedule's all messed up, and a lot of people don't like it. Players don't seem to like it the way it's done now as opposed to maybe 5 years ago. But I've always felt there's something about the Yankees coming to town just because they're a historic franchise like the Cardinals. Does it do anything for you when you see this sort of club come to the ballpark, regardless of how good they are?
Well, I'd like to see the Cardinals playing more within their division the rest of the way, as we're at the halfway point now of August and then going down the stretch in September. I'd like to see that, but we're not going to. And so you have to embrace what we have. And yes, the Yankees have a lot of star power. And when they come in, they draw a lot of attention. When you're talking Judge and Stanton, Volpe is a good young shortstop. And they have a pitcher, Heel, going tonight, who was the American League Rookie of the Year. He's coming back from a lat injury, but he's very capable of helping them get to the postseason. And it's interesting right now that both Ohio teams are just a half game behind the New York teams for the last wild card spot, with the Guardians trailing the New York Yankees by a half game, and then the Mets only a half game lead over the Cincinnati Reds.
Hey, John, we've had a chance to watch this team since the trade deadline has come and gone. Who's caught your eye as far as people who have tried to take over the opportunity that's been given to them to play more and maybe even pitch more?
No, I think Matt Svenson's done a really nice job every time he's been out there. He's going to have his hiccups along the way. There isn't a young player coming up trying to find his way at the big league level who doesn't, but he's had so many more advances than setbacks, and very few setbacks, if any. And that's been interesting to watch him. Riley O'Brien trying to come into his own. Gave up a couple of hits the other day, but he was able to work around them and put up a 0. Kyle Leahy's had a real solid season. He had a bit of a drop-off, but then he found his way again. I don't know if it was dead arm or what it was, that he wasn't quite as effective, but he really has been lately. And yes, gave up a run in the loss on Wednesday, but I sure love seeing him come out of the bullpen. And I like what I've seen from Michael McGreevy. He can get into a mess, but he doesn't seem to give up too many big innings at all. And when he left the game the other day, he was in line for the win. But watching Mason Wynn become an elite shortstop, that's been a lot of fun to follow too.
I know it was written about today in the Post-Dispatch about, him being Gold Glove caliber. I mean, how soon before you think he wins one of those?
He should
win. He can win one right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, right now. No, he's playing that well. And he takes hits and runs away. And with that arm of his, that's a lot more outs for a pitching staff than most normal shortstops. So, he stands a great chance of winning it this year.
It'd be great to see that. For the Cardinals to have a Gold Glove shortstop, that's a pretty special thing. And for him to do that and then maybe take that and run with it, do it several years in a row, would really be something, John.
Well, he's that good and he's that capable. And Brendan Donovan winning that utility Gold Glove, you keep Donnie healthy, and he's that kind of player that the Cardinals have defended really well. They've had their games where some errors have gotten in the way and cost them. And anytime the Cardinals have a mistake, whether it's an error or a pitch that's right down the middle, a misplaced pitch, that razor thin margin for error is really cost them, and that's why they're playing 500. But another reason they're playing 500, they could be well below that, is that they stand up to teams like the Cubs, the Yankees, and the Dodgers, and they give them a game. But again, you're only as good as that night's starting pitcher, and it's up to Andre Palante to find some of what he was able to do earlier in the season and erase what's happened the last 6 or 7 starts.
Yeah, you touched on something that I think is really one of the real head scratchers on how he can find consistency. We saw him early in the season, as you mentioned. He was really, really good. And now you hold your breath every time he goes out there because you just don't know what you're going to get, along with the fact of his inability to pitch around trouble. If he can figure that out and have a plan B, then he could be an effective pitcher. But right now he's still searching for that.
Well, if he can land his breaking stuff, Claves, then I think he's in the game.
Yeah.
I really do. Then he can sink his fastball and ride his fastball up. It's when he has touch and when he has his command and control, he's really good because of the movement on his pitches. And there have been times the left-handed batters have started to solve him where he was getting them out with ground ball after ground ball. But we'll know very early in the game whether he can land some of those breaking pitches. And I think he'll be up for the challenge tonight. I just have a good feeling.
Cardinals have 40 games left to go in this season. What do you think, John, is the most important thing they can accomplish in these 40?
They have to continue to develop right where they started in spring training, continue to develop and continue to guide a lot of these young players. Hope that Jordan Walker can continue on a positive note and end really strong. That's one of the things. And just continue to see what happens out of the bullpen with a lot of young arms out there and what they can do and help set themselves up. And and then see what they want to do with their 3 call-ups at the end of the year in September, and how they want to help develop those players. But that's the most important thing. And if they get into a situation where they are challenging for a wild card, then that's great. But the idea is to get these guys with their feet on the ground, find out who you want to continue with as you work toward 25, the end of 25 on to 26, and go from there. But I think they have to stay the course with what they started out to do back in spring training. And for the most part, they have. And the one constant has been they don't give up. Yes, they let a couple of games get away to the worst team in the game. They don't like that at all. And I think that will be kind of a rallying cry. Let's pick it up from here, going up against the Yankees and then going on the road to play down at Miami. Miami's played much better lately. Tampa Bay has been taking its licks lately and having to play out in the heat like they have there in Tampa for their home games. They schedule a lot more games early in the schedule at home because of all the heat later on in the summer, but they still have to play some games there at Steinbrenner Field, including 3 with the Cardinals next weekend. So just approach it tonight. It's the Yankees tonight, tomorrow, Sunday, and then on the road, we only have 4 more trips. And one of those is just a short trip to Cincinnati for 3 games. The others involve 6 games each, and that's it. So stay the course, continue developing, and hope that you can be in these games. And if the Cardinals hang around against these teams with winning records, they've been really dangerous and beating them.
You were talking a moment ago about the record and where they are now and even 500. And if you look at the runs scored and runs against, I mean, they probably should be a couple of games worse. So knowing that and knowing what Oliver Marmol is as a manager or what you have seen from him, how do you think he has grown in that role, and how much of where they are now is about him?
I think Ollie's learned some things as a manager over the years, but I don't think he's any different than he was when he was helping develop players at the minor league level, and he's continuing to do that at the major league level. When you consider most of the Cardinal minor league development is here in Stubby at first and Pop Warner at third and Ollie in the dugout. Mike Schultz was part of that. He's managing the Padres. Those are guys that help get a lot of players to the big league level, and with a lot of these young players coming up, with new managers and new people in the minor league system over the last few years, Oliver has continued to do what he has done there, and with what he has learned, keep these guys competitive. I don't think anybody believed this team would be close to 500 on the 15th of August. If you talk to people around baseball, the people who make all the predictions back in spring training, where will the Cardinals land? Just like people didn't expect Milwaukee to be atop the division either. That's why you have to play the games and find out. But this club playing 500 right now, yes, it's disappointing. They were 9 over not that long ago. But if they can stay in games, stay close, and take it today, then tomorrow, play those one at a time, that's the best way to approach it, and to help these guys learn how to handle the long haul of a 162-game schedule. And I think Oliver's really, really great at development, and that's what he's doing.
All right, John, looking forward to baseball coming back tonight. We will be listening in. Redbird Rush Hour at 5, pregame show 6:20. You will have first pitch at 7:15, Cardinals and Yankees on KMOX. Thank you, John.
All right, Chris, and we'll see you in a while, Claves.
All right, John, take care.
Mike Claiborne is here with me, Chris Ranji. You've got Live at Lowe's tonight.
We do.
At the ballpark, just across the street from the ballpark.
We do, and we are efforting. We have a couple of options as far as our guests are concerned, and we will let you know a little later on who that guest is going to be.
So just pop on over to the Bullock. It's Live at Lowe's and is right across the street from the ballpark in Ballpark
We
Village.
have a good time over there. Lee Smith, Hall of Famer, former
nice.
Cardinal, was our guest last week, and that was a riot. I mean, literally, we had so much fun with him, and I really enjoyed doing that show with Ricky Horton. We've had some fun times with our guests this year, and it's something I truly look forward to.
It's a fun show. It's fun when people show up to see it.
What do we have? I think we have 3 more left.
Yeah, it's probably. I think it's 3 home Fridays.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah.
So,
let's see. Yeah, we've got this one, and then 2 in September. Those are the last 2 Friday home games. 5th and the 19th. I really don't like this part of the year when if the Cardinals don't make a little bit of a run here, it's a sad part of the year because it is coming to an end. It's winding down. It's always a bit of a bummer.
Yeah, and that's different than the way it used to be, where we took September for granted that we're going to be playing in October. Yeah, and who knows? It might happen this year, but I feel that once we get through this transition period and just enhance the developmental stage of the organization, once we're back, we're going to be there. We'll be there for a while.
Gashouse Gang brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, SaligaHeatingandCooling.com, and also by Anderson Hospital. It's the Gashouse Gang on KMOX.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're here for all of life's wins. Like when you get a new car, or new boat, or new driver, or when your son moves out, but your mom moves in, or you find out you're expecting again, or when one rental property turns into 2, then 20, or you realize they're all in Tornado Alley. Life is full of life events, so call your Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance agent or visit mofbinsurance.com to find an agent near you, and we'll make sure you have the right coverage for each of life's wins.
We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, and we're for the people of Missouri, in good times and in bad. We're for Missouri families and Missouri communities. We're for giving back to those communities and lifting people up. And when Missouri weather rips through our state, we're for helping put back the pieces. We're for brighter days and new tomorrows. We are Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance. And if you live in Missouri, we're for you.
It doesn't take a lot to make a big difference.
That's why we've teamed up with Jerry Kelly Heating and Cooling to bring you 100 acts of kindness.
For the next 6 months, the Chris and Amy Show is challenging you to spread kindness in simple, meaningful ways. No big budget needed.
Write a thank you note, help a neighbor, surprise someone with a smile. It all counts.
Let's prove that kindness is contagious. Share your acts with us by using hashtag 100KindActs.
Because a little kindness goes a long way.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-311-9595. That's 800-311-9595.
Hi, I'm Dr. Colleen Bosler, and I'd like to introduce our newest associate, Dr. Adam Voss.
Hi, I'm Dr. Adam Voss, the newest addition to the Audiology Center. I'm very excited to join this amazing team. I'm a St. Louis native, graduated from Washington University School of Medicine, and I'm passionate about hearing healthcare and connecting people back to the things that matter to them most: family, friends, music, or even their favorite British TV drama. At the Audiology Center, we care for our patients like our own family. If you ever need anything, come on by or call us and we will make sure to address questions or issues same day. My ultimate goal as your audiologist is to listen to your individual needs and guide you on your journey to improved hearing. There are a lot of audiologists in town, but only one Audiology Center. We might not know how to change a tire, but we know a thing or two about audiology. And I want our current and future patients to know that you can trust us with your hearing healthcare needs.
Thanks, Dr. Voss. The Audiology Center, 3 locations. Come visit us at theaudiologycenterstl.com for more information.
Now back to the Gashouse Gang, sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling and by Anderson Hospital on 104.1 FM KMOX.
A few more minutes with Mike Claiborne and Chris Ranji, and Claibs and I were
I need
just
some
talking.
help.
Yeah, okay. We were just talking about this.
So
Go
here's
ahead.
the deal.
Yeah.
So I have a friend that's a triathlete.
Yeah.
Okay. And they have an event going on this weekend. So I want to be supportive and
right.
But I've never been to one personally. So I don't know, do you pick a spot on the course and like as they run by or swim, hey, way to go, and or do you stay at the finish line and I don't know how to do this.
Well, see, I'm the wrong guy to ask, and I'll tell you why. Because
you're not athletic.
No, but when I was in college, I had a girlfriend who was running a race.
Girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only one ever.
Congratulations.
And she wanted me to come to her, I don't know, 5K or something, whatever. And I was like, it was like a Sunday morning at 7 a.m.
Yeah, this is.
I'm in
Sunday
college,
morning.
and I go,
Yeah.
What do you want?
You
What,
just
gonna
hung
run
over from the night before.
Yeah, you're just gonna run by, I'll wave, and that's it. You want me to come all the way out there for that? So I didn't go, and it was
That's
a problem.
why she's your former girlfriend.
That is why she.
Yeah,
well, it's
okay.
one of the reasons. But yeah, she is my former girlfriend. I don't
So
know. What
I
are you
don't know
supposed
how
to
to do this. So if there's somebody who's listening right now, before I should have asked Amy. She would have known how to do it.
Yeah, but you know what though? She has a thing when she's running.
Yeah.
She doesn't notice anything around her.
I would hope
so. She
yeah.
wouldn't even know if you were there.
Yeah, and so maybe I.
Oh, Claves, that's it. I was there. What do you mean?
Yeah,
I saw you.
I was there.
I
You had a
yelled your
little
name.
tight outfit, yeah. And you were running and swimming, and
Yes.
yeah. You rode the bike, yeah. I was there.
We figured it out.
You were the one that your bike had 2 wheels on it, right? That one. Yeah.
Here's what you do: you find out what she's going to wear. Like you find out the colors, and then you go, "Yeah, you were in the red and
Yeah.
yeah. I saw you."
And you in the lake swimming. I saw that.
Yes.
Solved. I think you're onto something.
See, there you go. But you do have to make an effort.
I'm going.
Otherwise, you're
I'm
a
going
bad
to
friend.
Go. No, I'm going to go. I just don't know how to support them, because like you go to a ball game, you sit in the seat, you see the team, you see a player make a play, you cheer, whatever. But at this event, they go by you, and then you standing there and like, okay, now what am I? I'm not going to run with them.
No,
I'm not going to have a bike and ride with them.
You do have to yell out to make sure she hears you. So
Yell
she
out
knows.
their name.
It's kind of like, it's the same as when you go to, I don't know, the coffee shop and you want a tip. You make sure they see you put the dollar in the tip jar.
Hey, right over here.
Yeah.
Hey, you have change for 100?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
You make sure they see you. Because the most important part of this whole thing is that they see you.
In your case, they probably have to hear you drop the coins in there.
Oh, coins. I'm like
You don't seem like the guy, the big dollar bill guy.
No, I'm not. I go in like I'm in going to a bar in the Old West. Just a big chunk of change.
I'm big on tipping. At least I try to be. And yesterday I didn't have any cash. I had to go find an ATM machine to give somebody some cash. And they said that was very nice of me to do that.
That's really
most
nice.
people were just like, I'll get you next time.
Well, I mean, you can tip with the Venmo sometimes. You can tip.
Yeah.
That's what I was at a wedding over the weekend, and I don't carry bills on me, so
we hear.
I always do the.
Yeah.
Well, I got Venmo. You want money, you have to have Venmo.
Okay. Well,
And
there's another
the-
reason why.
Come on, the wedding bartenders have Venmo codes, and you can send
I've-
money.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
It's super
pretty cool.
convenient. All right,
So
man.
wish me luck on this thing.
Oh, you're gonna be great. Just make sure she hears you yell at her.
Okay, I'll do that.
Claves, we'll enjoyed it today. We'll see you tonight live at Lowe's.
I'll be live at Lowe's, and I'll also be at the ballpark too.
All right, man.
If anybody has any tips, I'm all ears.
Let Claves know.
Girl! You can do this.
Make a sign on a poster board.
That's too much work.
That's too much.
Yeah.
That's it tonight. 5 o'clock Redbird Rush Hour, 6:20 pregame. Claves is on that. First pitch 7:15. Cardinals Yankees here on KMOX. Dave Glover's show is next.
Hey, it's Debbie Monterey in studio with Gloria Liu, broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and St. Louis's real estate expert.